Matty Loves Podcast. Matty Loves Podcast.
Welcome to the giant size annual of Matty Loves Podcast. I'm Matt Simone, your host, joined by Dr. Tom Lucas.
Hey.
Back in the stewed.
Yeah, but you had a very capable,
Holy smokes.
I could lose my job to that guy.
So did you hear that?
I did, and the thing is, too, is I've been working with Simone for 3 years now, and I've had many conversations with Simone, and they are all as riveting.
Yeah.
I could just listen to him talk for hours.
Yeah,
I really could. So, yeah, he could steal my job in a minute if it weren't for the fact that he lives too far away.
Right.
To be able to make it over to the studio.
I don't know about that.
Anyway, we got over our Corellian chicken virus, and we're feeling much better now.
Well,
but the show went on.
It did.
We had a great co-host. Guys, if you haven't checked out part 2 of the Giant Size Annual with Simone, Carote, real doctor. Not a fake doctor like me, not a street doctor.
Right.
And, man, the guy knows his stuff. And
About,
we'll have him back.
Whatever.
We'll have him back.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. It was a fantastic interview.
Were you just like jaw open, like your eyes not even blinking, like the whole hour? Or
Yeah,
what?
I mean, I wanted to. After a while, I wanted to make sure that I was talking as little as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, so many things that he discussed were. I mean, everything about growing the lettuce in space.
Right.
To
his wife is a rocket scientist, man. She's her work is gonna help astronauts live on Mars and shit.
Well, her work right now is gonna help people 100 years from now.
I know. It's crazy. And what are we doing?
Right. What are we doing? Right. We're just telling you about it.
We're telling stories.
Yeah, and I also loved, his explanation of the Generation Starship.
Yeah, that was his dissertation work.
Yes, and that was really cool. So really, really fun having Simone in here filling in for Tom on the last episode. However, now that I have you back here.
Happy to be here.
Inside this giant size annual, as we bring 2015.
I just see us exploding on the cover too, like that X-Men #1,
right? Just ripping through the page,
yeah,
and it not just be two of us. It'd be
our
multiple.
Extended family,
yeah,
all
absolutely.
the people that have been on the show this year, Mike Ferraro and Dr. Bagley and Sid Williams and Simone and Nick in the
Star Wars,
the Star Wars ones.
Absolutely, we have developed.
Who else?
We have a team.
We do.
We have a team now. It's been 6 months, and I'm just now realizing the fact that if we were going to fight crime and injustice in a super-powered way, we have a good set of guys to go into the throes of battle.
You're gonna have to get the MS Paint out and do a cover, dude, in that your trademark style.
Yes, yeah, I might have to think about doing something like that.
That's like a full Saturday afternoon kind of project, but my God, dude, how great! And then we'll get it made into T-shirts.
You know what's crazy is it doesn't take as long as you think, but I think that's just because I've been doing this stupid shit for so long.
Right.
It's no problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love doing that stuff.
Do that.
Showing
we'll
you guys
make
your
T-shirts,
characters.
dude.
All right, yeah, man.
We'll do.
I would love to have a Boba Fett Tom Lucas. You notice that's a hockey stick coming out.
I did notice that.
All right,
and that's why I put the whole
subtle
thing in my profile pic, is because you can't miss. That part.
Yes, exactly. So maybe at the turn of the year, we definitely need to at least each of us have a Matty Loves Podcast T-shirt. I think stickers, an MLP sticker would look really cool.
There will be merch coming. Folks, I think so.
Gotta do something.
We've got to spread the word, and we love our loyal listeners. You're a good core group, and just keep telling your friends, man. This show, everyone tells me, man, it's just so listenable. I can just listen to you guys talk. I drive to work, I drive home, whatever. We're here to just talk about the stuff that you love, that we love, and Oh, there's so much to talk about. Where do you want to start, bro?
Well, I mean, I guess this week's edition, I kind of want to bring it back to why we got here in the beginning, which is comic books.
Comics!
The very last episode of Volume 1 was me by myself kind of giving my thoughts on the year in comics and what I liked to read, what I didn't like, whatever.
And just as a review, what is your opinion of 2015 for comics?
Creator-owned books are the way to go.
Yeah.
If you are like, I want to get into
Image.
Yeah, basically Image Comics. If you want to, if someone was to come up to me and be like, I want to start reading comics, I just don't know where to start. Right now, I would definitely tell them to steer away from the big two. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Yeah, but
really can't.
it's the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
They creak under the weight of their history.
Yes, and especially in my time down here, has given me a lot of alone time to kind of read and kind of really think about comics in a analytical sense that I never really have before, because I've always really just been reading to read. What's Batman doing? What's Superman doing?
It's a part of your education,
right?
You're training to be a professional storyteller, and that transforms how you look at story. For me, it started in undergrad as an English major. I took several film theory courses, film history, film criticism, and it transformed how I watched films, And at that time, I was writing film reviews for local newspapers, but I had no plan on being a professional storyteller. If anything, I thought I would write about films that other people made.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't... That time, I thought I'd be a straight journalist. I'd have a career as a journalist. I had not really even thought about creative writing or fiction or any of those things. And those courses, though, they change you. Mm-hmm. And you're only a few months away from graduation. 2 years now, basically, of training to be a storyteller. And there's no way that you can pick up a comic or a book or watch a movie or a TV show and not have that analytical thing going on. Yeah, I know. And we were kind of talking about this earlier. I traced that back to professional wrestling. Once I kind of got involved in professional wrestling and not just watching it, but physically involved, and seeing what goes on and how everything is made, and you see all the pieces it takes to put the show together and all that kind of stuff, it really changed me. As far as a fan or a viewer of it, right? You can't roll into the arena and watch it the way you used to, right? Exactly, because you see the strings, right? I've seen the strings, and when I see a shitty story on TV, I'm wondering, how is this possible, right? And that that's something too that I tell my students, is that you should watch the bad stuff along with the good stuff. Yeah, everything that you watch, read, play, whatever, you should be taking something from it, and whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, there's value in everything that you take in at this point. Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, the year in comics was, it was an interesting one. It was fit with, I guess, disappointment from the big two. Right. Well, our big events, Convergence and Secret Wars. Yeah. Secret Wars was so promising, but they didn't stay on schedule. Nope. And that's huge. Mm-hmm. A huge disappointment. And then Convergence was just an utter mess. Yes, it was. Ultimately didn't really have any value. Right, and at the end of the day, when you have the masterminds behind the event say, yeah, well, not everything's gonna be a hit. Yeah, I mean, come on. What? Don't even admit. Where's the fire, dude? Yeah, you gotta back this thing up to the end of the times. Like, you can't just kill it, 2 months after it ends. I mean, that's pretty much, to me, that just sounded like, we just phoned it in because half of the creators that were behind creating this story to begin with aren't even with DC anymore. Right. Listen, why do it? Yeah. Why are you in this business? Right. If you're just going to be soulless and lack passion. There's so many people, me and you, and comic book club we're going to meet tonight. So many people who love comics, who would love to work in the industry. Stand down. Let people with heart do the job.
No doubt.
You know?
Yeah.
There's with the big two, unfortunately, they have corporate overlords, and at the end of the day, it's product and profit.
Yeah.
You know?
You're right.
And with a creator-owned book, like the stuff that Image puts out, there's investment. They are invested in it because it's theirs. Yes, they're trying to sell books. Everybody is. But they're creating something, and they're adding something to our culture. You know, something that can be very long-standing, and they know it. And that is the key difference between the big two and what all the indies are doing. And, you know, I'd say Image trumps all.
They got no one to answer to,
right?
You know, I mean you're exactly right, man. It seems like in comics today, that's what it comes down to. Marvel's too busy about their films.
The comics are supporting the movies.
I don't care what they say. Yeah, now they're having their comics support the movies when ultimately, hindsight, the Ultimate Universe shouldn't have started until about 10 years ago when Marvel Phase 1 happened.
Right.
Because that way they could have used the Ultimate Universe and parallel that with the comics and with the movies and with the TV shows.
Right.
Now it's just...
I would rather see the Ultimates than the Avengers, because that first volume, especially the Mark Millar Ultimates, that is a solid, solid
it's
book.
Real, man.
Yeah.
And I would argue that the first volumes of all of those Ultimate Comics books from 15 years ago were solid. They were real, you know?
Yeah. That would be the Avengers movie I'd like to see. Definitely. I'd love to see them push Bruce Banner out of a helicopter.
Right.
And say, you don't want to turn into the Hulk?
We're going to make you.
Yeah. I mean, that's some heavy stuff. And Thor basically being insane. You know, is he really Thor?
Right.
Is he not?
Right.
You know, what that deal is. And I love the Tony Stark in the Ultimates.
Ultimate Tony Stark
is the
best.
And he, you know, does he hook up Widow with a suit of armor, or is it Wasp, or who's the chick that he?
I think it might be Wasp. That he hooks up with the armor.
You know, so you got a second suit, and I love the design of the Iron Man suit in that first Ultimates.
Yes.
It was really radical.
It looked like Metroid.
It did. It was a radical shift, and that was really cool. And of course, the way they handled Bruce Banner and the Hulk and Captain America. So, you know, some of Mark Millar's best work.
I think that series kind of changed how those characters were portrayed in the 616 universe.
Which is 616 is...
That's your main continuity.
Yeah.
And then 1610 is
well,
your
the thing
ultimate.
is that they stepped back and they went, you know what? The Ultimates is a better team than the Avengers.
They would beat the shit out of the Avengers.
You know? And they're like, this is supposed to be our side action, and it's better than what we're doing in
especially at that period of time, you know, because this was right before Bendis changed the Avengers to what, you know, we know of them now. And I think that the Ultimates were a catalyst to the main continuity, the guys that were behind those books being like, man, we need to get our shit together because these books are outselling ours.
Right, yeah.
You know, and this isn't even main fucking continuity.
No, this is supposed to be the side action.
Right, exactly.
Right, this is supposed to be our fun experiment.
Right.
You know?
So anyway, you know, creator-owned books right now are definitely the way to go. If you're just wanting to, if you haven't read comics in a while and just want to pick something new up, definitely go that route, because every single month there are new books being published by legit writers, by legit creators.
Yeah.
And you want to check it out, man.
There's a wave of writers out there right now. It's really fresh.
They're just pumping them out, too.
Yeah, they're young and they still have a lot of energy.
It's unfair.
And just for review purposes too, what was your number one best read of 2015?
Oh man. See, I'm trying to think back on what I said on the podcast.
Do you think Invincible?
No, because that's a constant.
Okay.
And it was a weird year for Invincible
Outcast?
Comics. You know what? Southern Bastards, man.
Bastards?
I'm thinking about comic books that, like, get me, like, emotionally. To where I read it and it actually, like, makes me, like, be like, wow. You know? And Southern Bastards by
that's
Jason
the football
Aaron.
one, right?
Yes, by Jason Aaron. That's probably my favorite creator-owned title of the year.
Yeah.
But overall, I gotta go with the Star Wars comics.
Yeah, man, they're good.
Even though it's topical right now, they've been awesome.
Everything is Star Wars.
And they've been on time.
Right?
And, and it's great, man.
Oh, the Darth Vader book, the ones that you gave me, tremendous. Great, from a writer's standpoint, how daunting. You got to get inside the head of Darth Vader. He's not the heavy who comes in the scene. He's the lead of the book.
Right.
So you got to be in Darth Vader's head.
I mean, I look at it like writing like Batman or Superman.
Right.
Darth Vader is kind of up there as like one of those types of characters. And Kieran Gillen, who writes the book, has been somebody, and I've said this in the past, that I've never been like 100% trusting, because I read like his Uncanny X-Men stuff, and I just was not a fan of what he was trying to do with them and Mr. Sinister and everything.
Okay.
And that kind of, that deterred me, I guess, to where I just couldn't get that out of my head.
You were really tentative about it, huh?
But this series is definitely like, I'm sorry, but any writer that can write a Vader comic, creating their own story,
and make you feel.
He's done a fantastic job. I've loved every bit of that book. I've loved every bit of the Star Wars book. Those two titles are great.
It's a great core title.
All the miniseries are also just fantastic. The C-3PO one that's getting ready to start up is...
they're giving him a little book for him?
I think it's in February. His miniseries starts.
How interesting.
And we find out how he gets his red arm.
Oh.
I don't know if you've noticed. He's got a completely red arm.
No, I have not.
Yes.
I have not noticed. And what was the biggest belly flop, oh my God, steaming pile of nonsense for 2015?
I mean, besides Convergence, because that was really, really bad.
Yeah.
Steaming pile of shit from this past year. Oh. And
you felt pretty betrayed by Chrononauts, as I recall.
Okay, so Chrononauts started out as, this is no doubt going to be my favorite book of the year if this keeps going. There's no doubt.
But it didn't.
This is my type of story. And they didn't, either I didn't pay enough attention and read that it was only a 4-issue miniseries, or they were just smart enough not to let us know that it was only a 4-issue miniseries, because like a week before the issue 4, the last issue, came out, and I was looking on the previews to put in my list on my Google Doc, it said final issue, exclamation. And I was like, what?
Yeah, no, because the concept has legs, man. You can do an ongoing series. They travel through time.
Sean Murphy's
travel through time and have fun.
Yeah, he draws planes, cars, dinosaurs. Right. I mean, it is awesome. And people, go buy this trade. It's only $10. Yeah. It's definitely worth the read. But yeah.
So not the biggest belly flop if you're going to tell people to buy it.
Yeah, not the biggest belly flop. It was definitely maybe it was a letdown. The last issue, everything up until the first or second page of the last issue was amazing, and then once it was just kind of it was like a tree falling, as I kept reading.
So give it to me, man. Worst. Just like you were like disgusted when you finished reading the book.
Okay, well,
or biggest missed opportunity, or,
man,
what made you angry? What made you want your money back, bro?
All right. Honest to goodness, top to bottom, Superman comic books in general.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah.
Well, they depowered him, right? And,
it's a mess.
Up-powered him, gave him a new power.
It's a mess,
He made him a truck driver.
They tried to get Jeff Johns on the book to clean him up.
Yeah.
That didn't work at all.
No.
John Romita came on to draw the book.
Right.
That did not work at all.
Unbelievable. If John Romita can't,
I know, man. That didn't work at all. Now they've got the old writer of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Stop it.
Writing the book, and oh man, and then there's Greg Pak, who I love any Hulk book he writes.
Yeah.
They're all phenomenal. But his Superman, he wants to turn into a damn monster movie. And it's not, Superman is not a horror comic.
Right.
It's okay for a one-shot to do Superman versus Frankenstein.
Superman is about being a paragon,
Right.
about being the pinnacle of what man could be. It's Star Trek versus Star Wars.
Right.
And what they made him a truck driver, right? They like stripped him of all the classic stuff.
He looked at everybody in this neighborhood that Clark was living in Metropolis after everyone knows he's Superman because Lois outed him, and he's not mad about it at all.
See, now, right away, we're way off
Right,
course.
I'm thinking, Lois, what, why did Lois do that? Why the hell did she?
Lois does not do that.
Now, before I continue, there is a saving grace to all this. Which
Okay.
I'll get to. Anyway, so he looks at everyone in his neighborhood and he was like, "I'm no longer Superman. You are all Superman now."
What does that even mean?
Right?
What does that mean? Start a neighborhood watch?
Yeah. If I was in the neighborhood, especially after something like shitty happened, I would be like, I would say the same thing. I'd raise my hand and be like, what the hell do you mean by that?
Right.
I'm Superman now, so I'm going to be able to fly at the speed of light, move at the speed of light, and rebuild my apartment that just crumbled to the ground.
Off me, and I'll have heat vision.
Yeah, no problem.
Well,
what the hell do you mean
they
by
gave
that?
him like jeans and a t-shirt, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which was the Superboy shit.
Right.
Superboy was the jeans and t-shirt.
And it's what he wore when he was first Superman in the New 52 universe.
Right.
Right? But still, I even when that was going on, that was Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
So, there was that. But this story, I mean, what's going on right now, he's been fighting shadow monsters.
What is that? What
I
are those?
don't know.
Why are you reading it?
Because I love Superman, Tom.
And
I'm a completist, and I'm sitting and I'm waiting for all this shit that I've read since the New 52 started to be worth it.
I was like that with the Exiles. Do you remember the Exiles
we've
book?
talked about the Exiles.
Yeah, it never got good, but I tried.
Right.
I hung in there. I tried. Every month, I was hate reading it. And it just never got good, and it could have been such a fun book.
Yeah.
It could have been just such a fun book. Alternate timeline, X-Men, a cast of 1,000, revolving door on the team, trying to find their way home. It's a Gilligan's Island with the X-Men, and there were some, fun versions of
a
well-known
Vampire
characters.
Storm.
Yeah, a Vampire Storm, and the morphing guy, Morphe or whatever his name is.
Right. They had to find a book for him because he was popular on the cartoon.
Yeah, well, he's a fun character, and then there was their version of Sabretooth,
Right.
and but the book never got good. So we're gonna go with Superman as the absolute
drizzling. For sure, man.
Wandering in traffic, getting hit by everything driving down the road.
Now, there is a saving grace.
Okay.
Dan Jurgens.
Yeah.
Who is best known for writing Superman in the mid-'90s during the death of and all that, which is arguably the last good, I'm going to just say good Superman story.
Okay.
I'm personally a big fan of all the Jeff Loeb stuff that he did.
Well, I did like Morrison's All-Star Superman.
Yeah, that might be the
I really did
Dark
like
Knight
that.
Returns for
I
Superman
think so,
comics.
and I mean, not the animated version is a nice thing to watch, but they cut out the Bizarro World stuff, and they cut out something else that
Lois isn't Superwoman for a day,
right? But Morrison, I felt really did a nice job with All-Star Superman. That was a book that made me feel.
Yes.
It made me feel.
Yes. So the saving grace is Dan Jurgens is writing this book called Superman, Lois, and Clark.
Interesting. How long has this book been running?
This book is 2 issues deep right now.
Okay. That's why I haven't heard of it.
And I think the 3rd issue is getting ready to either come out, I think next week. But anyway.
So tell me about it.
Okay, so Convergence was complete garbage.
Right. Nothing really converged.
Nothing really converged.
They're in the same mess they were before they started.
Same mess. I mean, nothing happened. Nothing really came out of it. Nothing. Anyway, one part of Convergence that was interesting was the fact that they were trying to jump on the whole Secret Wars thing before Marvel. Obviously, they knew that Marvel was doing Secret Wars again. So instead of creating a planet full of continents that are dedicated to different eras of the DC universe over time, they took different characters from different eras and put them in a Gotham City in a bubble on different Earths, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So you've got a combination of characters like Superboy from New 52, or no, Superboy from Death of Superman fought Kingdom Come Superman.
Okay.
All right, so that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Well, the New 50 or the
He had to have lost.
yes. So the act. Well, I don't think there was a winner actually.
Oh yeah. I hate when they do that.
Well, that's what they always do.
Yeah,
for
I
big
know.
Guys. What they did. One interesting thing was Superman from old DC had his own book with Lois, to where they had a son.
Okay. She actually was able to carry
Yes.
his child.
Yes. So it was called Convergence Superman. I think it was only like a 3-issue mini. But it was great, and it was awesome seeing fucking Superman again.
The Superman as he should be.
Drawn by Lee Weeks, who draws a phenomenal Superman. Well, anyway, spinning off of that, no other Convergence like books came out of that other than Telos, who was the character that they created for Convergence that no one gives a shit about.
Who is Telos?
Yeah, Telos is just like it could have been anybody. Telos is the Psycho Pirate from Crisis on Infinite Earths. He's the guy that's like he's the hand that rocks the cradle. Doesn't realize it in the beginning. He thinks he's a bad guy, and then realizes he's not the bad guy.
And his powers are controlling emotions.
No. Telos. Oh, Psycho Pirate.
That's was Psycho Pirate, right?
No,
so
Telos.
He's the one with the drama and the comedy mask, right?
But I'm saying them in a sense of in the middle of everything.
Right. So what were his powers?
Telos, I do believe had the ability to like put like place like everything in like time bubbles.
Okay.
Which is, I think he was responsible. It was either he or Brainiac that were responsible for bottling up.
So he can create. He has some control over time and space.
Right. Yeah. Something like that.
He can create places where time does not exist, kind of thing, like sort of.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all DC needs is a guy who can create continuities.
Of course. Yeah. That's why I said you could have put anybody in this. So anyway, after Convergence was over. Brainiac granted Superman look, he's like, all right, well, look, this world's totally destroyed. Where do you want to go? I'll put you in Lois and your son in any Earth where you want to go. He was like, well, I saw the New 52 Earth, so put me there.
Okay, but there's a Superman there already.
Right. Mm-hmm. So basically what Superman has been doing in the New 52... this whole entire
Superman
time...
or Superman Actual?
Superman Actual. Okay. This whole entire time has just been observing.
Just chilling.
And been handling, like, big things that are threats to Earth before Earth finds out about it.
Oh, so he's, like, out at Jupiter moving a comet out of the way.
He's not necessarily doing interplanetary stuff, but he's doing big stuff to, like, prevent bigger things from happening.
Okay, and he's doing it on the sly.
And people are like, I just saw this blur,
Is he wearing a suit?
Black.
Black?
It's kind of like the Return of Superman costume where it was black with the silver S.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like that.
He's got a beard. Does have an S on the chest.
Yeah, and he's got a beard.
Gray? Gray beard?
No. But anyway.
Fucking hipster.
Superman Actual is in the New 52 universe right now.
Okay. Where are Lois and the baby?
They're chilling at home.
Where are they living?
Oh, I can't remember where they're living, but they've put on a front like they're a completely like the kids going to elementary school and everything. Like they're completely.
Does he have powers?
It's a total front. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Classic Superboy powers.
Oh yeah.
So are they like in a small town, like a Smallville type situation?
Yeah, it's not Smallville, but like it's pretty much like Superman is Jonathan Kent. Only if Jonathan Kent were Superman.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Now that sounds, nice.
Right.
That sounds nice. Yes. That sounds like proper Superman storytelling.
Another book that is also a kind of proper Superman storytelling is Max Landis. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a hot writer right now. He's a real smart kid. We're about the same age. I think. Is he
at DC?
He's at DC right now writing Superman American Alien.
Oh, now what's his name again?
Max Landis. John Landis' son.
Oh! Yeah. Lucky dog!
Yeah.
Daddy hooked him up.
Well, yeah, but I don't really even think he needed to be hooked up.
So
man. He's super talented. Yeah.
So he's writing. Well, maybe his dad taught him.
Chronicle.
Oh,
That's Max Landis.
Okay, yeah, man. He's a talented dude.
He wrote Victor Frankenstein.
Oh,
did you see the trailers for that?
I did not.
Yeah,
I did not.
I don't even know if it's still
called
in theaters.
Superman American Alien.
Yes, American Alien.
What is that about?
It's kind of a Superman for all seasons.
Okay,
but
you mean that book? The book Superman for all seasons.
But this is Max kind of going into the new 52 Superman's origin.
Okay,
kind of.
And how is it different?
It's not really different.
I didn't think
it's
it
more
was.
like modernized.
Okay.
Like pretty much at one point, like Clark straight up like flies and is stuck in midair in front of his classmates and doesn't know how to get down.
Oh no!
And then he finally gets down, and they like mop it all up to like those like wind gusts like that do that to people. Like,
and they buy that?
Of course, it's Superman.
Well, yeah, I know.
Right. So
I mean, he gets away with wearing glasses as a secret.
Yeah.
Identity.
So that book has got a lot of promise, man.
You've sold it to me. I would read it.
Yeah. So issue 2 actually,
and I never read Superman stuff.
It just came out today, or the second one just came out today. So it's a mini series. So I'm looking forward to mopping that up. But
is that what's in the bag?
Well, all my comics for today is in the bag.
I want to see what your pull. Or can we jump ahead? And
we jump right into what I got today. This is just random. Tom's pulling out my stack of comics.
All right, we got Battle World issue 5.
Ultimate End. Guess when that should have ended?
Oh, like 6 months ago?
Like 2 months ago.
2 months ago. Oh my God, look at this.
Yes.
What is this? This is 3, 6, 7. This is a 35 panel page. It's a 2-pager, so it's 70 panels. That's 70 panels of comic right there. Old Man Logan.
Yep.
How is this, man?
Ultimate End. I basically watched it. I've been buying this book to watch all the Ultimate characters die.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens in this. But
that's
Cyclops.
Yeah, that's the Ultimate Cyclops.
Yeah, and my
where else can we put an X?
That's not.
Where can we put an X?
That is actual Cyclops. That is 616 Cyclops before he died.
So what's the deal with his Daredevil?
It doesn't work unless Chris Bachalo is drawing it.
Yeah.
I kid you not.
Yeah.
The new Cyclops doesn't look good at all unless Chris Bachalo draws it.
What is different in his depiction that makes it work?
It's how he does the X. He makes it look more like a visor.
Ah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
How can he see? I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah, you know.
You gotta love the Beta Ray.
Ultimate Iron Man right there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, so I mean, this is also like, hey, Mark Bagley, draw everybody.
I told you that I taught his niece, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I told her, now what is this?
Waste of pages
2-page white.
Now we go to Miles Morales. Oh, and Miles Morales is what? Oh my God. See? Case in point, like, you know, you're getting a first reaction to what I do every Wednesday usually.
Right.
And that's just, I mean, like, come on, man. So what? Ultimate End was just to bring Miles Morales into 616 and that's it?
Was this the last issue?
That's the last issue.
You know what I'm more excited about is this really cool Hulk Buster
that you can build.
Yes. Right? Is there a figure inside him? Like
no.
A regular Iron Man inside?
Each of those come with the figure. You got to buy the whole set to put it all together.
I was at Walgreens today and they had the classic Daredevil.
Yeah.
Legends Infinite series. Look nice, dude, with the black unitard and the yellow pants.
What were they
sleeves.
asking for?
It was
$20 probably.
Yeah, it was $20. Okay, we got Tokyo Ghost.
Yes.
Number 4. This is an Image book. What can you tell me about? Whoa!
It's written by Rick Remender.
There's nudity on page 1.
Yep.
Whoa.
Is
this a classic samurai tale?
You know what? You're playing off of a bunch of different kinds of tropes in this.
Yeah.
Tokyo Ghost is basically the world has now sucked itself and lost itself into social media. People have like multiple screens up looking at all kinds of shit.
So this is a virtual reality.
No, it's not. It's people escaping. They're using the social media escape, kind of almost like Ready Player One, only you're not like in a VR world.
Okay.
So the whole point is this chick is trying to get her longtime boyfriend his head out of the screen, basically.
Okay.
And the only place to do that is Tokyo.
Okay, so this is all real world.
Yes,
what's
it's all
happening?
real
All
world.
these like cool samurai sword fights and all that.
And it's drawn by the same dude that drew Chrononauts.
Okay, so yeah, I can see that. So this guy has some skills.
Yeah, they both do.
Okay. If he sits in front of a computer all the time, how does he have these skills?
Well, because he was trained and programmed to be almost sort of like this cop on the streets.
Look at that cover for number 5, man.
Yeah, it's
that
pretty
is
badass.
cool.
Yeah.
This guy's art is tighter, though, than it was in Chrononauts.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got more detail. It's got stronger lines. Chrononauts was like a doodle, dude. Especially like book 3 was like, it was almost like a cocktail napkin doodle that had been published. All right, now here's that Superman American Alien.
Yes.
So now
So
what's the premise here?
The first story takes place when Clark is in elementary school. I think this story takes place when he's in like middle school.
Okay,
So
and this is going to be a 7-book series.
So it's going to basically give you a story of Clark at different points in his life.
Okay.
And the reason that it says he's American Alien, I think it's just playing off of the fact that, you know, he's not American. You know, he's not human.
He's not human.
Right.
But he is American, isn't he?
Well, yeah, but not biologically.
Right. No, but he landed in America.
Right, but I think the whole
The
thing
ultimate immigrant, you know?
Yeah, I just think that the whole thing is just on a full, like, you know, biological level, deep down, you know, I look like you, I breathe like you, I talk like you, I sometimes bleed like you, but I am not you.
Look at that, my boy, Guy Gardner. Green Lantern.
That's kind of exciting that we have a new Green Lantern Corps book. It's a 6-issue limited series, so I'm gonna pick that up. I haven't read a Green Lantern comic in about a year and a half.
Van
Skeever,
Killer. He has owned Green Lantern for years.
That's why I'm gonna buy the book, man. He's back.
Does he even do any other books?
Yeah, he does some. He just hasn't done a Green Lantern specific title in a while.
I mean, his Lantern stuff is gorgeous.
Yeah.
His lines are gorgeous.
Yep.
You know, it's the combination of detail and dynamic, you know. Some of his 2-page spreads are so intricate, but yet it feels so effortless. You know, because like George Perez, his 2-page spreads looks like work. You know, you can see every blade of grass, you know. But with Ethan Van Sciver, there's a tremendous amount of detail, but yet somehow it doesn't feel, it feels effortless. All right, now we got modern Thor. You reading Thor, huh?
The Mighty Thor.
Is that because Aaron's writing it?
Of course, I've read all the new Thor books since the relaunch for Marvel Now, which was a few years back.
Right.
Which started with
So you've
God
been reading
of Thunder.
Thor for a while.
Yeah, so if you haven't read God of Thunder, you don't want to pick up the Mighty Thor because you're going to be lost.
Oh, this is our chick Thor?
Yes.
All right, man. How's
Jane
she
Foster.
doing?
She's, I mean...
Are you enjoying
Oh,
it?
absolutely. This is still playing off of the first volume of God. This is still playing off of God of Thunder. So this is still playing off of the first Thor story that Aaron wrote. That's why I like it so much. Yeah, they've had different volumes. They did Thor God of Thunder, then they did just Thor, and now they're doing the Mighty Thor.
Right. Well, you know what I liked about her becoming Thor is if when you look at the actual Nordic mythology, right? What they believed is that if you led a noble and righteous life as a warrior, when you died, you went to Valhalla. And you joined the gods. You weren't a subjugate. You sat beside them in the mead hall. You became a god yourself, you know? So in some ways, Thor it's a title.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you can join.
Yes.
You can join the gods in the Odinist tradition. So it makes sense to me in a way, you know? I like that. They're Inhumans. I see an ad for Inhumans. Number 1, our new mutants are now Inhumans.
Yeah, good luck with that, Marvel.
Yeah, right? Seriously. And you're a long-time X-Men guy.
For sure.
You've read way more X-Men than I've ever read. And this bullshit that's going on because of licensing is a damn shame.
It is changed the X-Men comics so damn much that even if I'm reading a good X-Men story currently, I can't help but grit my teeth.
Yeah. Do you think they'll ever pull through? Do you see light at the end of the tunnel? Do you have hope?
The key is the licensing, as sad as it is. Until Disney gets a hold of the X-Men, no, I don't. And I'm reading Extraordinary X-Men, written by Jeff Lemire. I just read the second issue of that a few nights ago, and I like it. I love Humberto Ramos's art. I mean, the book looks incredible, but it's just at the end of the day, I'm just like, man, this is just fucking ridiculous.
Right.
Why do you have to move the X-Mansion to Limbo?
Honestly, too, is that I never really found the Inhumans to be all that much fun to read.
Black Bolt's the only character I liked, and I only liked Black Bolt if he's summoned. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, if they're like, you know, oh, no, what are we going to do? There's no one else left to help us. And then you see Black Bolt, and you're like, oh, shit.
I also like, too, that his costume is so old school Kirby. It's
for
pretty
sure.
ridiculous costume with the tuner on his forehead and shit. Okay, moving on. Star Wars Kanan.
Kanan, yes.
Number 9.
This is based off of Rebels, and
Yes.
I read about the first 3 issues of this. I've kept on picking it up, but I'm not going to finish reading it until I watched Rebels.
I watched one episode of Rebels last weekend because, and we'll talk about this in another episode, I finally got off my duff and started watching the Clone Wars, and I happened to be on, and I'm like, oh, hey, let's get a little taste of Rebels. Awesome. It was a scene where our little crew of rebels, I don't even know the characters really, they were trying to get off an Imperial cruiser.
Ahsoka's on there.
Yeah, all grown up.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see. She got tall.
Yeah.
And her things, whatever those.
Got longer.
Yeah, what are those?
Well, we see her. She's in, Order 66.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But apparently, she doesn't die. Apparently, she doesn't get killed.
Okay.
So anyway, this
Rebels,
miniseries, it's been
really
very
cool.
popular.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. Like I said, I read the first 3 issues. I thought, hey, this feels like Star Wars,
Right.
but I don't know where this is all coming from. So I need to watch the cartoon. Like you said, you're watching Clone Wars. I'm doing the same thing. We're actually doing it currently right now.
Right.
But but
Ooh, General Grievous at the end of the page.
Yeah. So anyway, looking forward to checking that out.
And one thing I'm digging too, folks, is this is so old school. There's an ad for Star Wars toys, in the middle of the book, and we've got all new Force FX lightsabers, so 150 bones, or 200 for the Kylo Ren, broadsword or claymore, whatever the heck it's supposed to be. $200. Oh my God. And then look at these. You got sets, and this takes me back to when I was a kid, bro. You got the Force Awakens Jungle and Space Wave, and it's got Captain Phasma and what was that? Poe and Kylo and a Resistance trooper. And is that
that's Luke?
Is that Luke?
Yeah, it looks like Luke.
He's
on
very
Dagobah.
youthful.
He's on Dagobah.
And then that is
that's just one of the TIE fighter pilots.
TIE fighter pilot, right? And then they got the Snow and Desert Wave, and that's got Darth and a snowtrooper. Snowtroopers are my favorite.
Really?
Oh, I love them, man. And I even love the clone snowtroopers that they got in the Clone Wars thing. It looks like a Leia in back there, old school Leia.
That's Rey.
That's Rey. Okay. And then this is like some sort of person, and then like a rebel of some kind, right? And they've got some 2-wave kits. And also too, bro, when I went to GameStop to get my
good. I was hoping you saw it. They had it hanging.
Yeah,
dude. Black Series TIE Fighter.
Black Series TIE Fighter. I made a mistake, and I pointed it out to my wife, and she saw the price tag because I could have potentially have bought that at some time and lied to her about how much I paid for it.
$80.
Yeah. And I'll never own it.
Yeah, that's it's
It's huge, dude.
I think it's $170 piece, if I'm not mistaken.
It's huge.
Resale value out the wazoo.
I never knew that there were two dudes sitting in a TIE fighter.
Two back to back.
Yeah. Has that always been the case? It's a special.
Yeah, the
Now,
bombers. The bombers were the only ones.
Do they switch piloting roles because they can go either way, or is one guy a gunner, or?
I mean, we're gonna find out.
I don't know, man. That is one serious toy.
Yes.
I would now if they do a Black Series Millennium Falcon, I might buy it and hide it in the closet and look at it when I'm not. All right, so now we got. I gotta speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's
Justice League Part 6, Darkseid War.
Yeah, Darkseid War.
Darkseid.
We're New Genesis gang.
We got Mr. Miracle on the cover.
So the New Gods. So they implemented the New Gods into the New 52 universe.
Okay.
And now they brought them into it even more now with this whole Darkseid war that's going on.
Batman, God of Knowledge. Superman, God of Strength. Flash, God of Death. Shazam, God of Gods. Green Lantern, God of Light. That's a gimme. Lex Luthor, God of Apocalypse.
What the
What is with all this godness?
Jeff Johns.
We already know that DC characters are gods. That's like the old shit.
And why in the fuck are you gonna write another story where you take heroes and turn them into whatever lanterns or gods or God?
You know, Blackest Night and all that with like.
This is Jeff Johns, man.
I know.
He's the best of the best.
Though the Crime Syndicate.
Now you're spoiling the shit out of me.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
You're gonna get to that anyway. It's the middle of the book. Why is the Crime Syndicate here?
Well, that's playing off of fear, or playing off of fear itself. Not fear itself, but what villains attack or whatever the
Forever
Evil. Yes.
Which I enjoyed quite a bit because here's the thing: I really love the Crime Syndicate. I really, really, really love the Crime Syndicate. Grant Morrison's Earth 2 is a phenomenal one-and-done Crime Syndicate book. The Earth 2 animated film that they did based off of that was awesome, too. I love the Crime Syndicate.
Okay, so
what can I say?
Mobius, who's the main villain of the Darkseid War, who killed Darkseid already, he is responsible for destroying Earth 3.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so that's probably going to have something to do why we're seeing the Crime Syndicate in this. Yeah?
Why does he have a gun?
I don't. Wait, that's like a guard. That's not Batman.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, no, that's the other Batman in it or whatever.
Is that Thomas Wayne?
I don't know. I haven't played. Did you? You didn't play the new Batman game either.
No,
I knew you were thinking about it when you bought your PlayStation 3, but
I do see Big Barda in here. Where you got
talk
Mr.
about
Miracle,
disappointment. Look at this shit right here.
Batman Europa.
Yeah.
Brian Azzarello. Jim Lee.
Right, but also art by Giuseppe Camicoli, who is amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
And then the other two guys I'm not too familiar with, but they're showing this to us now. When they put Batman Europa 1 out, they just said the art was by Jim Lee for the series. Or led us to believe the art was by Jim Lee. It's just the first issue. Just the first issue. The second issue came out today. Yes. So again, DC, typical DC.
Right.
You are a bunch of
bait
suckers.
and switch.
Right. Yes.
All right. Invincible reboot ?
Yes.
Now this is talk about rebooting. This is
that's 3 of 3. So that's
I'm not showing you a page of it. Bro.
That's wrapping up what they're doing. As you can see right now. Shit is getting weird because they're rewriting the record books, so to speak.
So that's how he's handling a reboot.
Yeah.
Is it really a reboot?
No, it's not, because what he's done is he's fallen through a paradox.
Okay.
And you might be seeing
this is a thin book. It feels like it's 12 pages long.
Oh, great.
Feel that.
Yeah.
It feels like a brochure. What's going on, Kirkman?
Well, but... Yeah, you need to ask that question.
Start talking for me. I'm going to count pages here.
Okay. But no, I mean, he falls into like this like portal paradox, some sort of deal, and he comes to at the start of Reboot on the toilet reading Science Dog, which is the very first panel you see in the very first issue.
20 pages
of Invincible. Thanks. 20 pages.
20 pages.
How much is it?
For $2.99.
All right. So that is very unimage, I must say.
Yeah, it's a little sucky.
Yeah. Wow.
So anyway, how are you liking Invincible right now? Because Invincible is one of your books, man.
It is.
You're a big believer.
Invincible does. It's funny. Invincible always goes through a slow period, and then it just picks up like crazy. And I think right now this reboot thing is just kind of a slow period.
Okay. Well, I told you in the season finale of Walking Dead, the opening scene was a kid playing up in his room, and he had Invincible toys, and I thought of you, bro. So I hate Fairyland.
Yes.
I don't know anything about this.
It's good shit, man.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I had a chance to tell you. I've been invited to contribute a story to an anthology that will be coming out in three stories a month all next year. Fucked up fairy tales.
Wow.
And I've been invited to contribute a story, and I think maybe I need to check this book out.
Yes. Yeah, you might want to do that just to kind of, see what
I got
he does.
invited to contribute to an anthology.
Check it out. Here's the deal.
I'm so...
Okay, when this chick was a girl,
When this chick was a girl...
When our protagonist...
Rewind, stop.
When our protagonist was a little girl, she had like an Alice in Wonderland experience and ends up in Fairyland.
Okay.
She can't leave, and she ages, and she's now like in her mid-30s, but she's still a little girl. With all the maturity.
When you are done with these, can I borrow it?
Yes, for sure.
This is
Scotty Young, bro.
Right, but how many issues are they gonna do?
I don't know. I hope it goes on forever because it's fun as shit.
Fun book, dude.
Yeah.
It is one fun looking book.
Yeah.
All right, The Goddamned.
Yeah.
Jason Aaron. All right.
The story of Cain.
The story of Cain. So he got all biblical.
Right after he got Abel.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude.
How are you liking it?
The first issue.
You don't
was
strike me
dope.
as a guy that goes for the biblical action.
I mean, I'm not, but I mean, it's just, and this isn't biblical, you know. This is just like if Cain was like Cain the barbarian.
Well, this is the world before the flood wiped it out.
Right.
Right. So this is the age of Conan.
Chaos. Right. Yeah.
Age of Conan,
chaos.
and this is the old world. This is where your pulp barbarian stories come from.
But from the first issue I read, I was like, I can totally get with this.
I love the art, man. Yeah. It's visceral.
Scalped.
Yes.
The Scalp team.
It's the Scalp
Jason
team.
Aaron and Guerrero.
Is this going to be a mini series?
No, it better not be.
Yeah. Okay.
It better not be.
It looks tight, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Bam.
Descender.
Can't go wrong with Jeff Lemire's Descender.
You can never go wrong with Jeff Lemire.
Yes.
I don't think.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is just still continuing the story that started earlier this year that
You were telling me about the book. It's sci-fi.
Tim 21. He's a story of a little robot boy. He's the last little robot boy, so he thinks in existence.
Okay.
In the universe. Because all the robots have been...
very artsy.
Cold.
Very artsy.
Yes.
It looks like watercolors.
Dustin Nguyen. He's responsible for DC's Little Gotham series.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a painter.
Yes.
He's a painter, and I'm going to go with watercolors. It really looks like watercolors.
I really dig his art.
And what is the premise, real quick?
Like I said,
he's little robot boy's the last one.
Because all the robots were there was a culling.
Eradicated. Did they get too big for their britches?
Either it was more of a we're afraid what's going to happen if they get too big for their britches.
Now this makes me happy.
Woo, woo,
We've got Star Wars.
Yes.
The title is Darth Vader,
yes.
and then annual.
Yes.
We get an annual. They don't do annuals for every book anymore.
I have the Star Wars annuals that I got last week.
And it's meaty. This makes up for that Invincible 20-page.
How much was that? $4.99?
Yeah, $4.99.
I'll take it, man. If you're going to give me 48 pages.
Gorgeous. It's a gorgeous looking book, bro. And we know that Darth Vader is a good title.
Yes.
We know there's some really good stuff.
And I have no idea what that's about.
And hey, if you want an evil C-3PO, you got to get with
Triple Zero.
Triple Zero. He is scary.
Yeah. 000.
If you didn't think that C-3PO could be a scary character, well, it's not C-3PO, but it's the same model
it's
droid.
It's a C unit or C unit.
And he's black with red eyes and
can modify the color too. He can look gold.
Here it looks like a nice crappy Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comic with Deathlock. Deathlock does not belong in this universe.
Who's writing that shit?
Who's writing that shit? Mark Guggenheim. Not to be confused with the museum.
But also not to be confused with the Mark Guggenheim that writes for TV. Oh wait, that's the same one. So I wonder how this book's gonna go.
Who is this?
No idea. I have no idea. I don't know what that's about. That's a little
she
side
looks like
project.
Leah, but she's not.
No.
Right. So I'm not going to tell you anything there. I like that. Even though
I can't wait for Deadpool and Spider-Man. That's actually next month.
You and I are going to go to the Deadpool movie when it comes out, by the way. And I think we're going to do a pre and a post on that.
Yeah.
That is the superhero movie that's getting me back to the show. Klaus, #2, Grant Morrison.
It's a story of Santa Claus, bro.
It is. And
look at that art. Oh, it's
gorgeous.
It is awesome.
It's a gorgeous book.
It's awesome. Like, whoever thought, if there's one comic book creator that could write the origin of Santa Claus and make it badass, it's Grant Morrison, man.
Right.
Oh, yeah, and he totally goes Grant Morrison, too, bro, with the, like, tripped out stuff in there. Like,
but is there a clear story?
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
You know Grant Morrison, he can, like,
what I think happens is what we're seeing is Klaus coming into his part of the North Pole we know him to own and live.
Right.
And the town is in total, like, disarray when he first gets there. And I think he's basically going to just turn it into, like, Christmas Town.
Boom Studios is doing an Escape from New York comic.
Yeah.
How long has that been out?
I don't know.
Escape from Florida, bro. Escape from Florida. I must have this. And, so this is a Boom Studio title?
Yes.
Okay. And who are the people? Oh, and then there's a Big Trouble in Little China book. Mm-hmm. And Bill and Ted's excellent comic.
That's a real popular comic.
Yeah. What's that about?
I mean, I guess it's kind of like what they're doing with the Back to the Future, you know.
Right on. So who are the people at Boom Studios? I don't even really know. 10 years.
Yeah. I haven't really snagged.
I don't know these folks, and I don't like Dynamite too. Dynamite, of course, published The Boys, which is great. You know, Garth Ennis, superhero deconstruction.
They're publishing Warren Ellis's James Bond book right now, actually.
Now, Squadron Supreme. Now this looks like classic Squadron Supreme, not that weird stuff that was happening over the last few years.
Look at all the words.
I know. You'll actually have to
James
read.
Robinson, though.
Right? So we get Nighthawk, Dr. Spectrum.
Is it the female or male?
It is... I can't tell.
It's female.
Female.
That's already a bad sign. It's already a bad sign.
Is this Post-Secret Wars?
Yes. I actually have Squadron Sinister.
Battle World or whatever.
Yeah, I have Squadron Sinister. I got to finish. I got to read issue 4.
But, because, like, for me, man, Squadron Supreme is all about that single collected edition. Mm-hmm. You know? The one that you have is a hardcover over there, and the one that I used to have that had the dude's ashes in the ink. You know?
Yeah.
Right, so... I'm intrigued. I always liked the Squadron Supreme because here's the thing: I love the Justice League, and Squadron Supreme is the Marvel riff on the Justice League, of course. And to close it out, and to close the show out,
I know we got through my whole stack. I'm stoked.
Weird World, Sam Humphries, Mike Del Mundo. Oh. So tell me about Weird World, dude.
All right, so Weird World was one of my favorite books. I know.
The 2-page spread.
Weird World was one of my favorite books of the Secret Wars miniseries, all the miniseries they printed. There was probably about 5 or 6 of them that were legitimately solid reads, good story, good art, up and down, all around.
What's the premise of Weird World? Quick.
I can't remember the name of the guy who... it's this old like barbarian character they bring back, and he ends up finding Crystar. Do you remember Crystar from back in the day?
Is that like an 80s
He's
book?
he's like a crystal. He's like made of all crystal.
Yeah, okay.
It's just bizarre, okay? Right. And I love Morgana Le Fay.
Sure.
And she serves as the villain in that miniseries, and it was popular enough that they went ahead and they gave it an ongoing. So,
yes,
but
I love the art, man. It's
Sam
also
Humphries,
like painterly.
Yes, it's like Assad Ribick's art, kind of. Mike Del Mundo is really good, and he did the miniseries. And
He
Jason
looks like
Aaron
a guy
wrote
that gets a book in on time too, even though he paints it.
Yeah.
You know, with a lot of painted books, it obviously takes longer.
Well, he doesn't
you
have
know.
extreme amount of detail.
Right? Yeah. No, he's pretty light on it.
There's the Jizza symbol from Wu-Tang.
Oh my goodness! Look at that.
Wow.
Killer stack, dude.
Yeah, dude, so those are
everything
my
that
comics.
you've got here, we've got some solid writers, some gorgeous art. In fact, there wasn't a single book here that I thought the art was subpar. Good stack, man. And you know what? You're not reading. There's not a lot of I guess AAA titles here. I don't. This week there's no Batman. There's no. Heavies or whatever.
No,
This is a good stack, bro. How much did this stack cost you?
With my discount,
Yeah.
$50.
You get a discount from the store?
Yeah.
What's your discount?
I think they give me 20.
20% off?
I think.
Is that because you are subscribing?
Yes.
How many books a month do you buy, would you say?
Well, who knows? Usually it averages about 8 to 12 a Wednesday.
Okay. I feel like last time I was in the studio, you had more to read stacks. I feel like you've been making some progress.
Yeah. I definitely have. I've been reading a lot of comics, and doing a lot less of just sitting around watching YouTube videos.
Okay. Yeah, you can get caught in that hole, man.
Absolutely.
I'm still playing Fallout 4, and I every few days I'll get caught in a Fallout 4 YouTube hole. And next thing I know, it's like an hour and a half later, I've been watching Fallout videos.
My ultimate hole in a game, like is playing games in games, like sitting and playing Texas Hold'em for hours in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this?
Yeah. What was the Bethesda game? I think it's called Rage, and Rage was like that. You could go into the bar and you could play cards with people, and you just get lost in it.
Yep.
They also had like some other gambling. Oh, races too. Yep. One of the big mechanics that was in Rage is that Rage is kind of a post-apocalyptic on another planet type situation, and it's a Bethesda game. But one of the things was that there's racetracks in every town, and one of the things you can do is because you drive everywhere from city to city, is you try to create the strongest, most powerful vehicle you can for the road, so you can Mad Max it, right? And you do that by racing, and the races are serious business. So it's a driving game inside a Fallout shooter kind of game. So it's an RPG with I don't know what's a big racing franchise like.
Is it like Twisted Metal?
No, well, a little bit, but
Or is
more
it
like a legitimate racing game.
Like your Need for Speed.
Need for Speed with a little Twisted Metal
Okay.
in there. So anyway, an hour and 2 minutes. It's time to close it up.
It is. It's time to close up. Folks, thank you so much for listening again to Matty Loves Podcast. We have so much fun recording it, and we hope that you have fun listening to us. Go ahead and go out to Amazon and buy some of Tom's books.
Oh, hey, thanks, man.
I mean, really, I don't say this enough on here, man. Go out, buy Tom's books on Amazon, check it out, Google him, find out a little more about him, listen to our podcast, find out even more about him. Follow us both on Twitter, @ReadTomLucas.
Go to my Amazon author page,
Yes.
Tom Lucas. I now have 5 books up on my author page, a novel, a novella, 2 anthologies that I'm in, and a collection of sort of man-on-the-bus poems. Down to earth, none of that lyrical mumbo-jumbo. It's just me reflecting on life. And I get good feedback from my poems, although I don't walk around and call myself a poet.
Right. Well,
I couldn't, I'm not like that. But anyway, that's ebook only. But thanks for the shout out.
No problem, man. Yeah, so check us out on Twitter. Go on to Tom's Amazon author page. Jump around MattyLoves.com. There's some blogs. There's some things to read. Old podcasts again to check out. Also, we have the commentary tracks for all the Star Wars films. So if you have not seen Force Awakens yet, depending on when you listen to this, Check out the commentary
We
tracks.
are going the same day this episode comes out. No,
Yes.
is it maybe?
Yes, the same day this episode comes out.
Okay.
Yeah, that night.
All right.
We will be there. I can't wait. So anyway, folks, thank you so much for listening. For Tom Lucas, I'm Matt D. Simone. We'll see you next time on Matty Loves Podcast.
Matty Loves Podcast. Matty Loves Podcast.